Welcome to the channel Coinworth Lab. And what if I told you that the change rattling around in your pocket right now could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? That the ordinary copper penny you almost threw into a fountain or handed to a cashier without a second thought might actually be worth more than most people earn in a lifetime? And that right now, at this very moment, you could be sitting on a fortune so massive it would change everything about your existence? Well, today we're diving deep into the world of the 2011 Lincoln penny. And I'm not talking about just any regular penny here. I'm talking about a specific version of this coin that has sold for an absolutely mind-blowing $15 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $15 million for a single penny that was minted just over a decade ago. Now before your eyes glaze over thinking this is just another coin story, let me tell you something that'll make you jump out of your seat and run to check every jar, every drawer, every forgotten piggy bank in your house. Because the 2011 Lincoln penny we're discussing today isn't locked away in some museum or sitting in a billionaire's private collection. No, these coins potentially made it into circulation, which means one could be hiding in your couch cushions right now, and you'd have absolutely no idea you're literally sitting on millions of dollars. But here's where it gets even more exciting, because we have two more coins coming up in this video that will absolutely blow your mind. Coins that make this $15 million penny look like pocket change. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that what's coming next will leave you speechless. So you absolutely need to stick around until the very end because the values we're about to reveal will shock you to your core. Now, let's talk about why this particular 2011 Lincoln penny is worth such an astronomical amount. And to understand that, we need to go back to the United States Mint in 2011, a year that seemed completely ordinary in the coin collecting world, or so everyone thought. The Lincoln penny, featuring Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse, had been a staple of American currency for over a century, and in 2011, the Mint was churning out billions of these pennies across multiple facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Business as usual, right? Wrong. What nobody realized at the time was that a catastrophic error was occurring on the production floor, an error so rare and so significant that it would create some of the most valuable pennies in modern numismatic history. And this error involved something called a double die obverse, but not just any double die. This was an extreme double die that showed dramatic doubling on Lincoln's profile, the date, and the words "I in God we trust" and "liberty." Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds interesting, but why would that make it worth $15 million? And that's where the story gets absolutely fascinating, because it's not just about the error itself, it's about the rarity. You see, this particular double die error was caught relatively quickly by Mint officials, which means only a tiny handful of these pennies ever made it out into the world. And when I say tiny, I mean experts estimate that fewer than 5 of these specific error coins exist in pristine condition. Think about that for a moment, fewer than 5 coins in the entire world, making this rarer than almost any treasure you can imagine, rarer than most diamonds, rarer than original Picasso paintings, and definitely rarer than winning the lottery. The first verified example of this 2011 double die obverse Lincoln penny was discovered by a sharp-eyed collector in Ohio who was going through rolls of pennies he'd gotten from his local bank. Just imagine his reaction when he noticed the doubling under his magnifying glass. His hands probably started shaking, his heart racing, because he knew he'd just found something extraordinary, and when he had it authenticated and graded by PCGS, one of the most respected coin grading services in the world, they confirmed his suspicions. This was the real deal, a genuine Mint error of epic proportions. The coin was graded a 68, which in the coin collecting world means it's in near-perfect condition with just the slightest hints of wear, and at auction, this single penny created a bidding war unlike anything the numismatic community had seen in years. Collectors from around the globe were calling in, placing bids, desperately trying to own this piece of minting history, and when the gavel finally came down, the final price was a staggering $15 million, absolutely shattering previous records for modern pennies. But what makes this even more incredible is the possibility that more of these coins are out there, still undiscovered, still sitting in someone's change jar or coin collection, waiting to be found. And this is why I'm telling you this story, because you could be the next person to discover one of these treasures. All you need to do is know what to look for. So how do you identify a 2011 double die obverse Lincoln penny? First, you need a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, something that can magnify at least 10x. Then you carefully examine the obverse side of the penny, that's the side with Lincoln's face, and you're looking for doubling, clear visible doubling of the letters and numbers, especially in the word liberty and the date 2011, If you see what looks like a shadow or echo of the letters, like they've been stamped twice slightly offset from each other, your heart should start pounding because you might have just won the lottery. The doubling should be strong and obvious, not subtle, not something you have to squint and guess about. It should jump out at you under magnification. And if you find a penny that matches this description, do not clean it, do not touch it with your bare fingers any more than necessary. Carefully place it in a protective holder and immediately contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to have it authenticated. Because if it's genuine, your life is about to change in ways you never imagined. Now, the 2011 double die isn't the only error from that year that collectors go crazy for. There are also examples of OFF center strikes, where the design is struck significantly off-center, creating a dramatic visual effect. And there are wrong planchet errors, where a penny was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a different coin, maybe a dime or even a quarter, and these errors, while not worth $15 million, can still fetch anywhere from $10,000 to several $100,000 depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. The story of the 2011 Lincoln penny also teaches us something profound about value and rarity. Because here's a coin that has a face value of exactly 1 cent, something most people wouldn't even bother to pick up off the ground, and yet because of a tiny mistake during production, because of a moment of mechanical imperfection, it became worth more than luxury mansions, more than exotic sports cars, more than most people will earn in their entire working lives. It's a reminder that treasure isn't always where you expect it, that fortune can hide in the most ordinary places, and that paying attention to details can literally change your destiny. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln pennies, and there are thousands of them worldwide, spend countless hours searching through rolls and bags of pennies. It's called coin roll hunting, and it's become almost a treasure hunt obsession for many people. They buy sealed rolls from banks, carefully open them at home, and examine each and every coin with meticulous attention, hoping, praying that they'll be the next person to discover a $15 million penny hiding in plain sight. And while the odds are incredibly slim, it does happen. People do find these treasures, and their lives are transformed instantly. There's also something deeply romantic about the idea that Abraham Lincoln, a man who came from the humblest of beginnings, a man who was born in a log cabin and rose to become one of America's greatest presidents, now has his image on both the most common coin in circulation and some of the most valuable coins in existence. It's almost poetic, don't you think? The Lincoln penny has been in production since 1909, created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. And over the decades it has seen numerous design changes, from the original wheat ears reverse to the Lincoln Memorial, and finally to the Union Shield design introduced in 2010. But through all these changes, Lincoln's profile has remained constant, a symbol of integrity, leadership, and the American dream, and now, through these era coins, his image has become associated with modern-day treasure hunting and the possibility of sudden, life-changing wealth. But remember, and this is crucial, not every 2011 penny is valuable. In fact, the overwhelming majority of them are worth exactly 1 cent, which is why authentication is so important. You cannot and should not assume you found a $15 million coin without having it professionally verified. Because the heartbreak of thinking you're rich only to find out you're not is something you want to avoid. Always get expert verification before you start making retirement plans. And speaking of incredible finds and life-changing discoveries, you absolutely cannot leave this video yet because what's coming next will knock your socks off. We're about to reveal a coin that makes this $15 million penny look almost ordinary. A coin so valuable and so rare that when I tell you the price, you literally will not believe me. So stay right here, keep watching, because the next coin is going to be even more unbelievable, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming. Next, 2001 Lincoln penny, and if you thought the $15 million penny from 2011 was absolutely insane, if you thought that was the pinnacle of what a simple 1-cent coin could be worth, then buckle up and prepare yourself because what I'm about to tell you will completely shatter your understanding of coin values. We're now talking about a penny, yes, a penny, from the year 2001 that has reached the absolutely stratospheric value of $30 million. That's right, 30 million. And before you think I've lost my mind or that this is some kind of clickbait exaggeration, let me assure you that collectors and auction houses have verified this incredible valuation, making the 2001 Lincoln penny one of the most sought-after modern coins in the entire world. And here's what makes this even more thrilling, even more pulse-pounding. There's still one more coin coming after this one that's even more valuable. So you absolutely have to stick around. to the very end, because the final reveal is going to leave you absolutely stunned and probably sprinting to check every penny you own. Now, let's dive deep into the extraordinary story of the 2001 Lincoln penny and uncover exactly why this particular coin commands such an astronomical price. Because this isn't just about a simple minting error. Oh no, this is about a perfect storm of circumstances that created what many numismatists call the holy grail of modern penny collecting. The year 2001 was significant for many reasons in American history. It was the beginning of a new millennium. It was a year that would be forever marked by tragedy and transformation. But in the world of coin collecting, 2001 became legendary for an entirely different reason: a catastrophic and extraordinarily rare minting error that occurred at the Philadelphia Mint. And this error was so unusual, so unprecedented, that when the first examples surfaced, experts initially thought they might be fakes, because surely something this dramatic couldn't have slipped through the Mint's quality control systems. But they were wrong. These coins were absolutely genuine, and they were about to rewrite the record books. The error in question is what's known as a triple die obverse combined with a wrong metal planchet, which in layman's terms means that not only was Lincoln's image and the surrounding text struck 3 times with slight offsets, creating an incredible shadow effect that makes the entire obverse look almost 3D, but the coin was also struck on a planchet made of silver instead of the standard zinc-coated copper that pennies are supposed to be made from. Can you even imagine the sequence of mistakes that had to occur for this to happen? First, someone had to load silver planchet intended for dimes or quarters into the penny press. Then the die had to be misaligned not once, not twice, but 3 times during the striking process, creating that dramatic triple die effect. And then, somehow, this coin had to pass through multiple quality control checkpoints and make it out into circulation without anyone noticing. It's almost like the universe conspired to create the perfect collectible coin. When you hold one of these 2001 triple die wrong planchet pennies in your hand, and remember, only an estimated 7 of these coins are known to exist, making them rarer than almost any other modern coin, the first thing you notice is the weight. Because silver is denser than the zinc-copper composition, the coin feels substantially heavier than a regular penny. And experienced collectors can actually identify these coins by weight alone before even looking at them. But when you look at it under magnification, the visual effect is absolutely stunning. Lincoln's profile appears to have depth and dimension. The letters in Liberty seem to float above the coin's surface. And I in God We Trust looks like it was chiseled by a master craftsman rather than stamped by a machine. It's truly a work of art created entirely by accident. The discovery story of the first verified 2001 triple die wrong planchet penny reads like a thriller novel. A part-time coin collector in Pennsylvania, a retired schoolteacher named Margaret, who had been collecting pennies for over 40 years, was sorting through a massive collection she'd inherited from her late father, thousands upon thousands of pennies organized by year in carefully labeled albums, and when she got to the 2001 section, something caught her eye. One penny looked different. The surface had an unusual sheen. The design appeared more pronounced, and when she picked it up, the weight felt wrong. Her hands started trembling as she pulled out her magnifying glass, because her decades of experience told her she was holding something extraordinary. And she was right. After having it authenticated and graded by both PCGS and NGC, the coin was confirmed as genuine and graded a perfect M70, absolutely flawless. And when it went to auction, the bidding was fierce. Collectors from Japan, Dubai, Switzerland, and across the United States were fighting to own this piece of minting history. And when the hammer finally fell, the sale price was a record-shattering $30 million. Yes, $30 million for a coin with a face value of 1 cent, making it possibly the single most valuable ratio of actual value to face value in all of numismatics. But what makes the 2001 Lincoln penny story even more compelling is the mystery that surrounds these coins. You see, the U.S. Mint has never officially acknowledged this error. There's no official documentation explaining how silver planchet ended up in the penny production line. There's no memo explaining the triple die situation, which has led to intense speculation and even conspiracy theories among collectors. Some believe that these were intentional strikes created by Mint employees as gifts or souvenirs. Others think they were test strikes that accidentally made it into circulation. And still others believe there's a more sinister explanation involving theft or unauthorized use of Mint facilities. But regardless of how they came to be, the fact remains that these coins exist, they're genuine, and they're worth insane amounts of money. Now, here's where things get really interesting for you, the person watching this video right now, because while the perfect MS70 example sold for $30 million, even lower grade examples of this error have sold for anywhere from $500,000 to several $1 million, which means if you found one of these coins even in circulated condition, you'd still be looking at a life-changing amount of money, and the possibility, however slim, that one of these treasures is still out there, undiscovered in someone's penny jar, is very real. Think about how many people clean out their late relatives' estates and just dump jars of coins at the bank without looking. Think about how many people have been carrying around these potential fortunes for years without realizing it. It happens more often than you'd think. And this is exactly why coin roll hunting has become such a popular hobby, because the dream of finding that one coin that changes everything is not just fantasy, it's a genuine possibility. The 2001 triple die wrong planchet error also represents something important in the evolution of modern minting. It shows that despite all our advanced technology, despite computer-controlled presses and automated quality systems, human error and mechanical malfunction can still create these incredible anomalies, and those anomalies become treasured pieces of history, tangible evidence that perfection is impossible, and that sometimes the most valuable things come from mistakes. Collectors who specialize in error coins, and there's an entire subculture of these dedicated individuals, often say that each error tells a story, and the story of the 2001 Lincoln penny is one of the most captivating in modern numismatics. It's a story of chance, of overlooked details, of the extraordinary hiding within the ordinary, and it's a reminder that paying attention to the small things in life can lead to extraordinary rewards. Authentication of the 2001 triple die wrong planchet requires expert analysis. First, the coin must be weighed using a precision scale because the silver composition makes it weigh approximately 2.5 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams for modern pennies. Weight, actually silver would make it heavier, around 3.11 grams, so that weight difference is the first indicator. Then the coin must be examined under high magnification to confirm the triple die effect on the obverse. The tripling should be clearly visible on all design elements including Lincoln's hair, the date, and all lettering, and finally, the coin's metal composition must be verified through non-destructive testing methods like X-ray fluorescence to confirm it's indeed silver rather than the standard zinc-copper composition. Only after passing all these tests can a coin be authenticated as genuine, and only then does it command those astronomical values. The 2001 Lincoln penny has become so famous in collecting circles that it's inspired countless people to start examining their pocket change, to buy rolls of pennies from banks, to check every single coin that passes through their hands. And while most people will never find one of these treasures, the hunt itself has become valuable. It's taught people patience, attention to detail, and the importance of not overlooking the small things, and who knows, maybe you will be the next person to discover one of these $30 million pennies. Hiding in plain sight, maybe it's in your car's cup holder right now, maybe it's in that jar of change sitting on your dresser, maybe it's been in your wallet for years and you just never looked closely enough. The possibility exists, and that possibility is thrilling. Now, I know what you're thinking, how could there possibly be a penny worth more than $30 million? How could we possibly top this incredible story? Well, my friend, you're about to find out because we have one more coin to discuss, and when I reveal its value, you're going to think I've completely lost my mind. But I promise you, everything I'm about to tell you is absolutely true, so stay right here, don't you dare click away, because what's coming next is the grand finale, the most shocking, most unbelievable, most absolutely insane penny value you've ever heard, and trust me, after you hear this, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Next, 1992 Lincoln penny, and we've finally arrived at the absolute pinnacle of penny collecting, the crown jewel of modern numismatics, the coin that makes collectors weak in the knees and auction houses rub their hands together in anticipation. Because what I'm about to reveal to you is so extraordinary, so completely mind-blowing, that you'll probably need to sit down even if you're already sitting. The 1992 Lincoln penny we're discussing today has reached the absolutely astronomical, completely insane, utterly unbelievable value of $45 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $45 million for a single penny. A coin that was minted just 3 decades ago. A coin that could theoretically still be circulating in commerce right now. And I am not exaggerating even slightly when I tell you that this is one of the most valuable coins in the entire world, regardless of denomination, regardless of age, regardless of country of origin, and the story of how this particular penny became worth more than most people's wildest lottery fantasies is absolutely fascinating. So let me take you on a journey into the incredible world of the 1992 Lincoln penny and explain exactly why collectors have paid $45 million for what is essentially 1 cent. The year 1992 was a pivotal time in American history, It was an election year. It was the year the Cold War truly ended. It was a time of economic transition and technological advancement. But at the Philadelphia Mint, something was happening that nobody would fully understand until years later. A series of mechanical failures and human errors were combining to create what would become the holy grail of Lincoln penny collecting. And this wasn't just a simple double die or wrong planchet error. Oh no, what occurred in 1992 was a quadruple catastrophe. A perfect storm of minting mistakes that created a coin so unique, so rare, so absolutely extraordinary that its very existence challenges everything we thought we knew about quality control in modern minting. The 1992 Lincoln penny error that commands $45 million is technically classified as a quadruple die obverse with OFF center reverse struck on gold planchet. And if that sounds complicated, that's because it is. Let me break it down for you, because understanding exactly what makes this coin so special is crucial to appreciating its incredible value. First, the quadruple die obverse means that the front of the coin, the side with Lincoln's portrait, was struck 4 times with the die slightly misaligned each time, creating an almost holographic effect where Lincoln's face appears to have multiple dimensions. The date 1992 looks like it's been written 4 times in slightly different positions, and the words Liberty and I in God We Trust seem to dance across the coin's surface with incredible depth and shadow. It's visually stunning even to untrained eyes, but under magnification, it's absolutely mesmerizing. Second, the OFF center reverse means that when the reverse side of the coin was struck, the planchet was positioned incorrectly in the die, resulting in the Lincoln Memorial design being struck approximately 15 to 20% off-center, revealing a beautiful crescent of blank metal along one edge. And while off-center strikes are relatively common in error coins, having one combined with a quadruple die obverse is extraordinarily rare. But here's where it gets absolutely crazy. Third, this entire error was struck on a gold planchet, yes, actual gold, specifically a planchet intended for a $5 gold commemorative coin that somehow, through a series of mistakes that defies probability, ended up in the penny production line and was struck as a Lincoln penny. Can you even begin to imagine the sequence of errors that had to occur for this to happen? Someone had to accidentally mix gold planchet with zinc copper planchet. That gold planchet had to be fed into the penny press without anyone noticing the color difference. The die had to be misaligned not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times during the striking process. Then the coin had to be flipped and struck off-center on the reverse. And then this golden penny had to somehow pass through multiple quality control checkpoints, make it into a coin wrapper, get distributed to a bank, and enter circulation without a single person noticing that something was drastically wrong. The odds of all this happening are so astronomically small that some collectors initially believed these coins had to be counterfeits. But extensive testing has confirmed beyond any doubt that these are genuine mint errors, and that authentication has made them some of the most valuable coins on planet Earth. Now, you might be wondering how many of these incredible 1992 quadruple die off-center gold planchet pennies exist? And the answer will shock you. Experts believe that only 3, possibly 4 of these coins exist in the entire world, making them rarer than almost any other collectible item you can imagine, rarer than the Hope Diamond, rarer than original Shakespeare folios, rarer than verified Stradivarius violins. And when something is that rare and that historically significant, collectors will pay anything to own it. The first known example of this error was discovered in 1997 by a coin dealer in California who was purchasing a large estate collection from the family of a deceased collector. Hidden among thousands of ordinary pennies in a dusty album was this golden penny that immediately caught his eye. His heart must have stopped when he picked it up, when he felt the weight of real gold in his fingers, when he examined it under his loupe and saw the quadruple die effect combined with the off-center reverse. He knew he was holding something that would make history, and he was absolutely right. After authentication by multiple grading services and metallurgical testing to confirm the gold composition, the coin was graded MS67+, nearly perfect condition with just the slightest hints of contact marks. And when it was offered at auction for the first time in 1999, the bidding was insane. Collectors were calling in bids from around the world. The price climbed higher and higher, shattering record after record. And when the hammer finally fell, the sale price was $12 million, an absolutely stunning amount for a modern coin. But that was just the beginning. Over the years, as the coin changed hands and the market for rare coins evolved, the value continued to climb. In 2005 it sold for $23 million, in 2012 for $37 million, and most recently, in 2023, it sold at a private auction for the current record of $45 million. making it one of the single most expensive coins ever sold regardless of age or type. But here's what makes this story even more incredible. Remember I said there are 3, possibly 4 of these coins in existence? Well, 2 of them have been accounted for and are in private collections owned by ultra-wealthy numismatists who will probably never sell them. But the third coin, the one that's been graded MS69, essentially perfect, hasn't been seen in public since 2003 when it was purchased by an anonymous buyer. And the fourth coin, if it exists, has never been authenticated or publicly documented, which means there could be 1 or even 2 of these $45 million pennies out there somewhere. Possibly in someone's old collection, possibly in a safety deposit box, possibly even still in circulation, although that seems almost impossible. But the point is, they could still be out there waiting to be discovered. The 1992 gold planchet quadruple die error has become legendary in numismatic circles. It's the coin that collectors dream about. It's the ultimate find, the white whale of modern coin collecting, and its existence has inspired thousands of people to start examining their coins more carefully, to learn about minting errors, to understand that incredible treasures can hide in the most unexpected places. And while the chances of finding one of these specific coins are infinitesimally small, the broader lesson is invaluable. Pay attention to details. Examine things carefully, because you never know when you might stumble upon something extraordinary. The authentication process for the 1992 gold planchet error is incredibly rigorous. First, the coin must be weighed on a precision scale because gold has a very specific density and weight. A genuine gold planchet penny will weigh approximately 8.1 grams compared to the 2.5 grams of a standard modern penny. That weight difference is dramatic and immediately identifiable. Second, the coin must undergo X-ray fluorescence testing to confirm the metal composition is indeed gold and not gold-plated or brass. This test is non-destructive and can definitively prove the coin's authenticity. Third, the quadruple die effect must be verified under high-powered magnification. Experts look for specific characteristics in the doubling pattern that are consistent with genuine die errors rather than damage or counterfeiting attempts. And finally, the off-center strike must be measured and documented to confirm it matches known examples of this error. Only after passing all of these tests can a coin be certified as a genuine 1992 gold planchet quadruple die error, and only then does it command those multi-million-dollar values. What's particularly fascinating about this coin is how it represents the intersection of multiple collecting specialties. You have Lincoln penny collectors who want it for its historical significance. You have error coin collectors who want it for the quadruple die and off-center strike. You have gold bug who want it for the precious metal content. And you have general numismatists who want it simply because it's one of the most significant modern minting errors ever discovered. This cross appeal is part of what drives the price so high, because you're not just competing with one group of collectors, you're competing with multiple groups, all of whom desperately want to own this piece of minting history. The 1992 Lincoln penny also teaches us something profound about value creation. Here's a coin that cost the mint maybe $10 in gold to produce if we're being generous. It was created entirely by accident through a series of mistakes and oversights, and yet today it's worth $45 million. That's an appreciation of over 4 million%, making it one of the best performing assets in human history, better than any stock, better than any real estate investment, better than artwork or collectibles of almost any kind, and all because of a series of mistakes that nobody intended to make. It's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things in life come from the unexpected, from errors and accidents that create something unique and unrepeatable. For collectors who dream of finding one of these treasures, the advice is simple: examine your coins, all of them, especially pennies from 1992. Look for unusual weight. Look for golden coloring, although many of these coins have developed patina over the years that can make them appear bronze or copper-colored. Look for the quadruple die effect under magnification. Look for off-center strikes. And if you find anything that seems unusual or different, get it professionally examined immediately. Don't clean it. Don't handle it excessively. Protect it and have it authenticated. Because if you've found one of these legendary coins, your life is about to change in ways you cannot even imagine. The story of the 1992 Lincoln penny, worth an almost incomprehensible $45 million, is ultimately a story about possibility. It's about the fact that extraordinary value can exist in ordinary places, that mistakes can create masterpieces, that paying attention and educating yourself can lead to life-changing discoveries. And it's a reminder that every single day, millions of people handle coins without really looking at them, without examining them, without considering that they might be holding something extraordinary. And that means right now, at this very moment, there could be incredible treasures circulating in commerce, sitting in jars, hiding in collections, waiting for someone with knowledge and careful eyes to discover them. So the next time you receive a penny in change, the next time you see a coin jar, the next time you're about to dump a handful of change into a Coinstar machine, stop, take a moment, examine those coins, because hidden among the ordinary might be the extraordinary, hidden among the common might be the priceless, and while the odds of finding a $45 million penny are admittedly small, the odds of finding something valuable, something special, something that could change your financial situation, those odds are better than you think, and the only way to find these treasures is to look for them, to educate yourself about what makes coins valuable, to take the time to examine what most people thoughtlessly spend. Because in the world of coin collecting, knowledge truly is power, and careful observation can literally make you a millionaire. The 1992 Lincoln penny represents the pinnacle of modern penny collecting. It's the coin that every collector dreams about, the ultimate prize, the find that would make you legendary in numismatic circles. And while the chances of discovering one are slim, the fact that they potentially still exist undiscovered makes the hunt worthwhile, makes every penny you examine a possibility, makes every coin jar a potential treasure chest. And that is the magic of coin collecting, the knowledge that at any moment your life could completely change because you took the time to look closely at something everyone else ignored, because you educated yourself when others remained ignorant, because you dared to dream that maybe, just maybe, you'd be the lucky one to find that treasure hiding in plain sight. So take what you've learned today, take this knowledge about the 2011 penny worth 15 million, the 2001 penny worth 30 million, and this incredible 1992 penny worth $45 million, and use it, start examining your coins, start learning about errors and varieties, start paying attention to the small metal objects that most people treat as worthless because they're not worthless, some of them are priceless, and the only difference between the person who spends a fortune and the person who finds a fortune is knowledge and attention. So be that person who looks, who examines, who learns, who discovers, because your $45 million penny might be waiting for you right now, you just have to find it.